Okay, so first thing we're going to look at is going to be the pocket page pieces, or pocket pages. So these are super easy, and I've got a couple things that you can do to kind of do something a little bit different. So of course, you know, you've got your 4x6. That's going to be ideal for your pictures that you don't want to crop. What I think is fun is taking the 6x6 paper pad and then cutting 4x6 mats, because then you've got that smaller print with those. And nothing, you know, super out of the ordinary here, except apparently I didn't cut this one to 6 inches because it does not want to go in there. Oh my gosh. No, there it is. It's just me. Oh no, maybe it's not 6 inches. Okay, that one needs trimmed. Anyway, so you know, that's fun, and that's, you know, something that's super easy to do there. Same thing with the 3x4 pages. Oh, there's the rest of my stuff. So like the 3x4 with the 4x6 on top, you know, you can do the same thing. And then of course you've got 3x4 cut aparts. So of course some of these are going to be oriented wrong. And I've got those kind of set aside here, the ones that go sideways, because we'll do something different with those. But again, it's literally as simple as, you know, putting this one in with like that, and then you've got your cut apart sentiment on the one side, you've got one on the other, and then you've got the reverse where you've got that nice, you've got the pattern. So, you know, that's always an option. And two, there's the journaling cut aparts. So that's an option there. Same thing with the 4x4. Again, you're just, you know, as simple as just taking your cut aparts and filling those in. So the 6x8, again, you can keep it super simple, you know, because you can get 2 full-size mats out of 1 sheet of paper with those, which really you could get 2 6x8 and 2 4x6 out of 1 sheet, and you really can fill these up without it being too difficult to do so. Okay, but we're going to do a couple of other little fun things here. So what I've got here is a 6x12 inch piece of white cardstock. And what I'm going to do is we're going to measure. I know which way I'm trying to measure. Actually, no, that will not work the way I was thinking it would. I cut that absolutely wrong, but you know what? It's okay. We'll fix that here in just a second. So I'm going to stick my ruler in here because this is a 6x8 page, but the overall length inside is 6 1/8. Okay. So what we're going to do, as soon as I figure out where my paper trimmer went, because I did totally cut that one the way I did not mean to, we want a piece that is 8x12. Okay. And I'm going to score this at 6 1/8. Because these pockets are side loading, this actually is a really cool way to give yourself some more space in these albums without adding a ton of bulk. So scored that at 6 1/8. So it's going to be a little bit shorter, but what we can do is this will slide in like so. And then you've got a nice big flap that you can do, you know, a bigger layout on the inside of this. You can do photo match. You can do whatever decorations you want on that. Another fun thing you could do is take that same 6x8. I'm just going to use this one because I planned on doing this technique anyway. So this is my shorter side, which is what I want. That doesn't want to go back in. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut 3 inches off of that. Okay, so now we've got a smaller flap, which is great. We can absolutely do that. But what I can also do is take a scrap of the snowflake acetate for this collection, and we can attach that on the end there and get another, just a different type of page where you're still using that page protector, but you're getting, a little bit different look overall to the album. And I'm trying to find, maybe I don't have a border strip over there that's going to work, which is fine. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a scrap, I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to cover this on the back with tape. Okay, so how wide is this one? This is 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to use 1/2 inch. And I'm going to use 1/4 inch. And it's going to overlap because I totally got that on there crooked, but it's okay. You're getting the basic idea here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold this out flat. I'm going to line these up side by side and go ahead and get the backing off of this. Maybe. Okay. And I'm just going to center this on here. And there we go. So now, not only have I got a nice little flap on there, I've got just something, a little bit different, a little bit more interesting with adding that and making a big flap on our pocket page. Okay. The other way we can do this is going to be very similar with where's my 4x6? There's a 4x6. So we're going to do a similar thing with the 4x6. So I have a 4x12 strip of cardstock. And again, I'm just going to double check, just sticking my ruler in there. And this one actually goes a little bit deeper. So we're going to score this one at 6 1/4. Maybe. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just because I don't want to. This one, my scoreboard does not go all the way across, but you get the basic idea. Okay. So we've got our 4x6. We've got our insert with its nice big flap, and it works the same way. You can do the same thing for the 3x4, but again, you're just going to measure how deep this pocket actually is. So this one's 3 1/16. I'm betting this one's slightly different. And that one's actually right at 3. So it's literally that easy. Just stick your ruler in there and measure that, and then you can make fun little flaps and things with your pocket pages. And the really cool thing about doing this is I can then take, no, we'll go ahead and go with that one. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. So I've got that little bit of a border around there. And I can go ahead and just put this paper down on top of this. So I can do decorating, and I can, use my odds and ends and my bits and pieces and so forth to build a little scene on here. And I've still got room behind that for 2 photos. Okay. So that is one of the cool things that you can do with these pocket pages. The other thing is going to be when you've got one of these pages. So like, say we're going to use this one for a layout. So I've got my 6x8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead with these two that I cut incorrectly. I'm going to do a 5x7 photo mat. I'm going to do one front, one back. Okay. So I'm going to take my piece here and I'm going to add my photo mat. If you wanted to do 4x6, 4x6 actually works really well too. You wanted to add a couple of smaller ones, you can do that as well. This thing's just about out. It just suddenly gets very hard to use at that point. So I'm going to center this one up on here. On this back side, I think I'm actually going to use a 5x5 instead. Okay, I'm going to put that up more towards the top. And so then I can put this in, and rather than embellish this directly onto the paper, because then when you stick it into that sleeve, it's going to make the sleeve kind of pooch out, which personally is the whole reason I didn't use albums with page protectors and why I started making mini albums in the first place, was because that always bothered me. So what you do instead is you take, that is not the one I wanted. Where did it go? So instead I would take, like, for example, we're going to say we did this little house, this little snowman, and some little snowflake pieces, a little cloud up here, a little bird, all of that kind of thing. What you're going to do is you're going to attach these to the front of this page protector. So then you can still add your foam tape, you can add, do your embellishments however you want to do your embellishments. You can make them as dimensional as you want to, and you're not going to have to worry about it not fitting into this page protector or causing this page protector to like bulge out, because you can attach these things right on the front here. It makes it easier too when you're putting your pins in here. Or pins, where is that coming from? Photos. You can do your photos without really cropping them down, and instead you can embellish on the outside of that page. So even if I did, one of these like this, okay, and I've got my photo in there, I can go ahead and just put that odds and ends piece or that doodle pop or icon sticker or what have you on the front and still decorate it without having to worry about where my picture sits if I've, put this down and not left it loose on one end, or I can slip the picture behind it. It's not going to matter. So it makes albums like this where you're still able to use your pictures, but they can go together much, much faster. So there are some options there.